Week 2 of the NFL, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Dolphins and the Ravens, all that and more, coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports from the 6. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one, Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
Another excellent season from Lamar Jackson that was cut short by ankle injury and actually showed just how much he is valued as the leader of the Baltimore Ravens as they went 0-4 down the stretch and missed the playoffs without him. Prior to that, they were 8-5 in a tough AFC North, and he was on his way to his third 1,000-yard season as a runner and career-high marks as a passer.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe him.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
For the second consecutive season, Tua's a starter and Miami's a team. Both had winning records, but missed the playoffs. His numbers, they weren't terrific. Only 2,600 yards and 16 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. But he also overcame fractured ribs early in the season to return and play well down the stretch. And don't forget, when he did come back, he led Miami to 6 straight wins, which kept them in the playoff race.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Mostert. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Edmonds again. But he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1. But this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. With the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, get a full game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders on the Dolphin field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will make it 6-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Jackson now. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Jackson being chased. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Jackson on the keeper. Off football on the play. Best
6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They defeated the Patriots last week. Now looking to make it 2 in a row here as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
A legacy player in the NFL, Cedric Wilson, 602 yards last season, nearly beat his father's best season when he played in the league. The Miami Dolphins, they're betting that Wilson can surpass not only his dad, but become a big-time player in their revamped passing game. Nice catch there for a first down.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Jackson going to run again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now stands at 13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with his deficit here. We'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson right back to Duvernay. That's complete. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Jackson from the shotgun. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge, a successful one. To throw again is Jackson. And this is incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Week 2 underway around the NFL, and a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener, the 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader, Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern, and then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later. Two and now on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this 1st half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts From the gun, it's Jackson, as he'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, this is your halftime report. First, we begin in Cleveland, where the Browns, Nick Chubb, 3rd and goal, would take the ball in to score the first touchdown of the game for the Browns, coming off of the Week 1 tie against the Panthers. New York would get strip-sacked in the end zone for a fumble touchdown. Zach Wilson gets harassed by the Cleveland defense, and that game would go to halftime 14-0. From there, we go to Detroit, where the Lions would jump out to a late first quarter lead, would get down the field, but ultimately fall to 4th and goal and kick a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. The Browns, though, would tie the game up early in the second by kicking a field goal of their own. Baker Mayfield, late second quarter, throws a touchdown pass, a very nice touchdown pass to John Bates for a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, I would say, looking like a early season MVP candidate, had a stellar game in the opener, and they would also kick a field goal late in the second quarter, 25 seconds before halftime, to make the game 13-3. Baker Mayfield and the Commanders looking to go 2-0, and that game would go to halftime 13-3.
With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Miami. And they have been absolutely taken out of this football game by that opposing defense. Negative yardage as a team running the football so far. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run on 1st down. Edmonds. And he stopped immediately there. We're in Baltimore. Third quarter action. 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Tua. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Able to slither by. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Another run here with Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Open man is Duvernay. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And 3rd and 1 now. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Jordan Stone in punt formation for the Ravens.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Always got some breathing room. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. That's sort of a prime example, is it not, of selling out defensively on 4th and short?
It certainly is, because what you're doing defensively is saying you're going to stop them right there at the line of scrimmage or make a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Instead, they get just enough of a hole chopped, and you're thin on the 2nd and 3rd levels, then you become a chaser instead of a tackler.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's the veteran Justin Houston who got in there to make the stop. On second down, this is Edmonds. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Again, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Jackson. Dobbins with it. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Connects with Duvernay. He's at the 40, the 20, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Dolphins are going to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Tua. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Going right back to Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
This game has been a lesson, a clinic in how to throw the football. I mean, even with a big lead, they're not turning off the engine. They're not getting off the gas at all. They plan to keep going at them, and it's working for them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. Down to a knee goes Tua, and that should just about do it. Charles, in these lower scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king. They play turnover free from whistle to whistle, and they come through with a victory.
Yeah, and that's what won them the game, because even doing it that way, being that clean partner, they weren't able to really run away with this game. So that tells us just how important it was to make sure you played mistake-free football. That led to the victory.
So for Miami, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.